Hello there, Seraphim17 once again. This is my Dead Space 3 Impossible Difficulty video walkthrough. This is Chapter 3, the CMS Roanoke. And I don't think the chapter's called that, but this is one of those chapters that doesn't seem to have a title card, so I don't really know what it's called, and it's the bane of a guide maker who likes to make things, you know, as orderly and as close to the game as I can, which is annoying, but I'll live with it. So, you can explore outside in the wastes around the ships, checking out for loot and things, and there will be loot, there's always loot. I'm just not going to dilly-dally all that much when it comes to that type of stuff, because as I've mentioned, this is an efficiency guide. I want to get you through the game. I want you to at least experience it your own way and explore it your own time, as opposed to, you know, following me step for step, because that's the point of these walkthroughs. Sometimes some people just need to see somebody do it to know that it can be done, and I understand that sentiment completely because I've been in that same position. One of the main reasons I make these walkthroughs is because seeing somebody conquer something you're having difficulty with inspires you to do it yourself, and I think that's one of the best things you can do when you make video content. That is obviously inspiring others, and hopefully that's what this will do. Because I've done a little playing on hard, and it doesn't seem to be nowhere near as challenging as impossible, so I do think a lot of the hardcore runs and survival mode and all that kind of cool stuff that comes later, I don't think it's going to be too bad, folks, once everybody gets a grasp of the game. Especially now they've changed some of the systems as well, which is very strange. So I don't know if you know, but hardcore difficulty on the old game, you had 3 saves and that was it. If you died, you went back to your previous save. On the new one, you get unlimited saves, but when you die, the game deletes your autosave. And it's actually significantly easier because there's a lot of things you can do with this. I haven't tested it yet, but when you're about to die, you can pause it and restart checkpoint. You know, when you do die, before it says game over and everything, you can probably dashboard or turn off your console if you're fast enough, and it's not that difficult to do, and then turn it back on and just reload your checkpoint. And you know, if you want to get really technical and really anal, you could just back up your save onto a different hard drive on your Xbox, and boom, you've got a permanent save that cannot be overwritten, and you can keep doing that depending on how paranoid you are. So hardcore on this game, nowhere near the challenge it was on the old one, I don't believe, but that's not going to stop all the people bitching in the forums, which is just an inevitability, really. And the other modes, they seem interesting. One of them is you can only use the guns off of Dead Space 1, I think that's classic mode. You can only use blueprints to upgrade things, and you cannot play in co-op. So that sounds interesting, but it just seems like a restricted hard run, so that's probably not going to be that bad at all. And then the pure survival one, there is no ammunition dropped by enemies, you have to make everything yourself, and that sounds quite interesting to me. Sounds like a cool one, but once again, it's on hard, and I'm really curious why they don't let you put them on the impossible, because some of those on the hardest difficulty would be really, really interesting to do. For instance, once this guide is up, I'm going to be doing another playthrough. It's going to be a co-op playthrough with a buddy of mine, and we're going to do a really stupid restricted run if I can convince him to do it, and he will, because he loves that kind of stuff. We've done it for a lot of things. And oh, by the way, this part here, guys, there's a bench, so I'm trying to get all the stuff and mess with the bench as quickly as I can. You're going to see me dismantle the planet cracker from my safe, you're going to see me throw a lot of stuff in my safe, and you're going to see me do some of the preliminary upgrades on my weapons. So just watch what I do. You don't have to imitate it. It's just a basis of how I'm going to be approaching the game. I'd never like to stack health. It's just not how I like to play. I would rather die and learn a lesson than heal and scrape my way through. That's just my mantra when it comes to games, guys, so just bear with that. But me and Aiden have done stupid runs on a lot of games, and they're always really fun, and this is the first opportunity we've had to record them, because in the past we did a snub-only run of Gears of War 1 on Insane. I think we got up to the pumping station before something else came out and distracted us. But that was a super fun run. It was stupid, it was hard, and we enjoyed it. It took forever, but it was cool. Like, we played Resident Evil 5 on Professional from fresh saves, so public assembly is literally 2 people knifing, and that's it, because you just don't have the bullets to shoot people. We've had a lot of interesting runs, and I'm hoping that this is going to be another one of those. Oh, by the way, guys, that right there is me upgrading an assault rifle with a line gun. I thought that assault rifle was automatic. I should have read it. It's a semi-automatic, so you have to tap it as opposed to holding it. And the line gun fires so slow that it's literally 5 seconds before you can do anything. So you're going to get caught with your pants down. Don't use it until you've got upgrades. It's not even worth your time. But I'm not too sure what we're going to do on this. I want us to do something silly. It's going to be impossible. It might be something like no healing. It'll definitely be no upgrading the rig at all. So we've got base life, base armor, maybe starter suit, something like that. No armor, no heavy suits. And one weapon. Maybe a single weapon, so no double weapon. And a weapon that's stupid and crap. So it's really like melee only playthrough, where we get that lightsaber on the bottom of our weapon. We just use that. I'm not entirely sure what we're going to do, but it's hopefully going to be silly and people are going to enjoy it. But now that we've done the bench, now that you've got a couple of weapons to play with, we're going to be moving through the Roanoke to do the Dead Space stuff of random engineering, random encounters. And these doors that for some reason you can't turn with your hands, you have to use kinesis, because everybody's got so lazy in the future that they turn everything with their minds. But this is a new spawn technique for the necromorphs. They kind of sit in the ceiling and then they drop down like bats. Be careful here, because the camera leaves them real close to you, and if you're unlucky, they'll both run at you immediately off the bat. What I'm trying to do is take an arm and fire it at one of them to knock them back, and that right there is a two for one, which is always nice when it happens, but you can't really plan for it. That was a mistake. Did not mean to grab this box of dog shit. Meant to grab a bladed object to hurt him. Miss him with a stasis, and then finish him off with a couple of plasma cutter rounds. That doesn't look like a tough fight, guys, but it can be really challenging if they get close, and that's Dead Space all over. If you can control the fights, if you can control where the necromorphs are, you'll have no trouble with this game. If you can't, you're going to die a lot. And that is what the early part of this game is going to be, until you get a gun that works, because the weapons early on in single player aren't too bad. But in multiplayer, when you're doing it co-op, you feel underpowered for the first half of the game, in my opinion. And I mean completely underpowered. You're shooting people's legs, and they're taking it like they're wearing shin guards, and you're, some really weak-ass football player. But there's two guys in here, one here and one to the left. That was a mistake on my part, because I thought I could take his leg. I was wrong. I don't know if I had stasis or if it came back after that engagement, but I should have really waited for my stasis to regenerate and use it. But it just goes to show, the necromorphs are fast, they jump, and they're hard to interrupt. And we've got another guy coming here. You can tell because of the music. The music is useful, but it's also misleading. If you're having trouble with this game, not knowing when the enemies are coming, and when the game's just trying to shit you up, turn the music off. I know that's going to sound like heresy to some people that play this game, but trust me, it works. I'm not currently playing with music turned off, but I've done it before. And what it does is, the music actually simulates the same sounds that the necromorphs make when they turn up. So it can give you the illusion that you're being attacked, or that there's enemies around when there's not. If you turn the music off, the only sounds you hear are the physical sounds. So you will only hear the necromorphs, you will only hear the vents going through, you will only hear the information you want to hear. And it makes the game significantly easier. Just don't tell anybody you did that, because people seem to hate on people turning the music off. But I don't play these games with music a lot of the times. I'm currently watching through Dragon Ball Z, so when I was recording this, I was watching Dragon Ball Z at the same time. Because it's a pretty long series, and I've got some ground to cover if I'm going to finish it anytime soon. But a couple more of the ceiling guys. That guy does his weird berserker mode where he just flails his arms. There's a very cheap spawn coming up here, and I don't like it at all, folks, and it's going to catch me off guard. I knew it was coming, I just didn't know how to trip it, and I thought I could run, but it doesn't work, and I end up getting grabbed. So, you'll notice, we've killed everything in this corridor. We're going to do the stamp thing. When we move towards the door that's on the opposite side of this corridor, when you turn around, there's going to be a necromorph there, and it's intentionally put there to shit you up. Watch in a moment. Oh no, it's a vent. I just heard it then. That's why I couldn't tell. That's why this happened. So basically, guys, if you're listening to the game, you'll not fall for that. I thought it was one of those spawns that's intentionally meant to fuck you. One mistake because I didn't have sound on, and look what it does. So you need to be very careful. But note to everyone playing, as soon as you come over here, the vent behind you is going to blow through. Spin round, stasis, kill him. Jobs are good. I make the mistakes so you don't have to, type deal. But now we can run around picking up the remnants of what we can find, and we can carry on. But there's a couple of interesting things on this game. For instance, they throw a lot of the ice climber zombies guys at you, necromorph dudes, but they don't throw a lot of the old stuff at you, and I find that really strange. Like, I'm on chapter... How far did we get last night? We're like on chapter 14 or chapter 15, something like that. We might be a little bit behind that, but very close. Oh, right here, I can't pick up this medpack for some reason. I think it's because the UI wants me to do the fucking floaty thing, which is really stupid to have a priority system that disengages every other mechanic just so that you pop up in the air. But we are essentially the last third of the game, very close to the end, or very close to the last part, and I have not seen a single bunch of those kid things with the sharp fingers. And fictionally, you think, oh, well, there's no kids on this space station, so that's probably why, you know, you're not seeing any of those, because they came from the nurseries and stuff. Same with the babies, they're like slug babies. But at the same time, fuck the fiction, man. I want to fight diverse enemies. I don't want you to keep throwing the same bunch of morons at me. And I've not seen a single one of them. Instead, there's these Starving Marvin guys, which make the same noise Starving Marvin makes. And they're essentially the same, they're just not as dangerous, which is very strange. I don't get that at all. And I haven't fought a brute, a single brute. It's almost like the brutes are hibernating in the snow, and they're all asleep, and they missed the memo that all the other guys got to, you know, shit's kicking off, Mr. Clarke's back, we need to kill him now. Missed it, just gone. And I don't understand that at all, because the brutes were so much fun, and I think the brutes would definitely be good in co-op. Because can you imagine both of you just ripping into them? They would severely suffer. So they'd have to rework the AI, or give them more abilities to make it work. Maybe they took them out because when a brute follows one guy, the other guy kills him. But that's how the hunters work on Halo. And how did Bungie fix that? They send 2 of them at you. So send 2 brutes. I think they've really missed an opportunity, and unless at the end of the game there's 20 brutes in a row, which there possibly could be, I'm a little disappointed by that. Instead you get that stupid snow crab, and that snow crab is the shittest boss fight ever. The only boss fight worse than that snow crab is the one off the demo, which apparently is a spoiler. Even though you saw it in the demo, there's an achievement named after it. It's like, come on guys, if you're going to click on a fucking video, there's going to be a spoiler in it. It's the game. But this is another moment that suffers because I don't have audio on. I know that when I touch this it's going to trigger a spawn, I just don't know where. So you'll notice I'm looking everywhere, and on the headset I can hear them, I just can't see them. So there's the... I never remember these guys' names. Are these called lurkers? I think they're called lurkers. And the line gun's actually pretty good for those guys. It can kill them really quickly. And I know when I put this drill down, I'm going to get attacked by ice climbers. So, as soon as this sparks, a vent's going to go through. Oh, he's already come out. There he is. He's fast too, so... Don't know why he died so quick then. No idea how that worked, but he just fell to bits. Yeah, this guy's not going to be nowhere near as cooperative, so I'm going to stamp on him because he's a bitch. There we go, took him out. So there's 3 with the looks of this. 3 ice climbers. 2 from the left, 1 from the right if you go to this one. And be aware, the lurker guys, the tentacle dog baby face things that have now changed into looking like the dude from the Valley of Defilement. They're literally lurking in this room, and they're hard to see because of the lighting. This is a dark game, that's why I bumped the brightness up at the start. but they can snipe you effectively. And I get hit by one of them later on, and I don't know where it is. I look around the room, it's nowhere to be seen. I go and press a button and it turns up, so you need to be really careful, because they might be small, but on this difficulty they can kill you. Everything can kill you on this difficulty, that's kind of the point. But nothing happens for the second one, and I think the third one spawns a couple more dudes because it's the final one. This is the toughest room so far, I would say. If you're going to die at any spot in the early game, this is a good contender, just because these dudes, I don't know what's in the knee pads of those overalls, but it deflects plasma like it's its job. Like that guy there just fell to bits. I don't understand the damage modifiers on this game, I really don't. It'd be nice if you could put a mode on where it showed you the damage you were doing, like Borderlands-esque, just to see when you're hitting criticals, where's the best place to hit those criticals. Because can you imagine if every different type of necromorph had a one-shot, one-kill area of their body if you sussed out how to do it? That would be so cool. There it is, you see it? He's the one that hit me. If you're wondering when I took damage in that last fight, it was because of him. And it's just hopping about and I'm out of ammo. This is super dangerous. Ooh, there's another one. It could have been that one that just shot at me then. If he'd have hit me, I think I would have died. I mean, look how underpowered this fucking plasma cutter is. Line gun, not so bad on these guys. I'm going to have to bear that in mind. I just don't like it. Really don't like what they've done to line gun. I don't like what they've done to a lot of the guns, though, if I'm going to go down that road. But now that that's done, you're going to hit this elevator. This elevator is going to lead you up to a bunch of familiar faces. I say familiar faces. There's one person you know, a crowd of people who are probably going to die, and a couple of conversations. But it's quite a long elevator, as you can see. It's actually loading the door opening sequence for the elevator so that you can stand in the elevator and the game can probably load on the back end again. But thank you for watching. I hope the videos are helping, and I will see you in the next chapter. You take care now.